why you're low late? You know why you pay? You probably don't, but the broker has to. You know why you pay $200 at shippers for rescheduling fees? You know why you pay that at receivers for rescheduling fees? Majority of the time, it's because of the broker. Yesterday, in other days, and it hasn't just happened with me, it's happened with a lot of y'all, whether your company or owner operator, it's happened. So you whether you're leased on to a carrier, whether you're a big carrier and you got the contract or whatever, it doesn't happen whether you've seen it or maybe you didn't see it. But we see it a lot out here on the other side of the fence, right? So you have loads sitting around like Deming, New Mexico, back to back to Dallas or Houston, right? That's what, back to Dallas and Houston. But you're in El Paso. These dudes want you to pick up a load in Deming, New Mexico. A watermelon load, right? Or whatever it may be. And they want you to go all the way back to Dallas and Houston. Shreveport, Oklahoma City. $2,000. $600 miles loaded, but 680 miles loaded to some of these places, right? But you gotta go 140 from El Paso or whatever to get the load. They don't want to pay. No, they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay at all. Now, this is just watermelon, so I'm just using the example. Let's just say it was a cold storage out here. Because they're good for this shit. So, when you pull up, you gotta pay a fee. The broker already got a shitload of money in the load, but he don't want to fucking pay. He can't just be happy with making $500 or something like that on a load. In a lot of these cases, they need to make $2,000-$3,000 on the load, right? So what happens is you go 600 miles, and you tell you say I need $3,000, right? They don't want to pay that. They want to pay $2,000, $1,800, right? And then they can't get it moved. Then they might have the nerve to call you back, and they still won't play the game with you. Yep. So then they can't get you, or they can't get nobody else, so the load gets pushed off to the next day. Then you see the next day, they still don't want to pay to move the load. So eventually, they end up paying something somewhere. They might pay $2,500. Then that jackass that got the load for that goes in there. Now they got to pay a $200 late or rescheduling fee. See, sometimes I don't think these dudes are smart. Then you get to the receiver, they got to pay another $200. Bitch, we already at the $3,000, Daniel, that we was talking about. I don't get it. Maybe somebody can break it down to me. I don't know. You already at the Wait, so you didn't want to pay $3,000, but you bumped it up to $24. Then you got to pay a $200 late fee at the shipper, then another $200 at the receiver. Like, are you retarded or something? Are you retarded? Brokers be like, I'm gonna let it sit on the dock. Double brokering it around, passing it around, triple brokering and passing it around. Like, really? That's what y'all doing? Some of y'all. One dude called me years ago, Mag Days, when I was at Mag Carriers. Said, slow down. You're gonna call me on a Friday to go to New Hampshire, Vermont. On a Friday to deliver Monday night. He only wanted to pay $1,500. I'll give him my rate, which is over $3,000. And he said he'll let it sit on the dock before he pay it. And customers, you know, there's some deliveries don't charge you, some shippers don't charge you, you know, or charge them or whatever. But, or we might not know and they just bill them, you get them on the other end, we just don't see it. And that's when you show up at the customer looking at you like, you're late. You supposed to have been here 3 days ago, last week. Talk to your broker. Don't talk to me. You made the deal with the broker. You didn't make the deal with me. You're late. That's $200. Why don't you just call your broker and go get the $200? We ain't got nothing to do with that. It's like they're scared to talk to the broker about the shit that they fucked up. We had the truck fall off it. Whatever. Oh, go back to the customer. We can't find the truck. We can't find the truck. There's no trucks. We can't find. Stop lying. I need some more money on this. Yes, I sat down with a shipper in New Mexico. Step deck low. He said, "You know what I can't stand? I was in the. This is the I don't know if he was the regional manager or over the. I think he was over the whole joint there. And we sat down for like 45 minutes. I was in his office just talking. He gave me the card. I got his card, and I was still at Landstar. I know I told you some of y'all this before, and I can go haul for them right now. I can go haul generators. I can go haul whatever I want right now for him." He said, "You know what I can't stand, man? I can't stand brokers. They call in, they get with me, they get a rate. I give them a rate. I pay them. Let's say I pay them $4,000 or $5,000 to go from Albuquerque to North Dakota or whatever, or whatever the load is. I'm just throwing a number out there. Then they come back like, oh, like a few days later, oh, I need some more money. It's not enough money." He can't stand that. He ain't the only one that can't stand that. There's a lot of shippers that can't stand that. I was at a roofing material place, and they couldn't stand certain things that some of these brokers / carriers that got these contracts do. It's hilarious, man. You need more money. Like a truck, they have a load out in North Carolina and talking about they can't find a truck. Ain't mama drive a truck in North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina. You can't find a truck? Now if you was in Wyoming and say you can't find a truck, Montana, North Dakota, possibly something like that. you know, bumfuck Egypt, let's bubble fuck. But when you're in these cities and all these places like that, you can't find a truck. Or here, you can't find a truck. Then I understand. Oh, they sitting on money right now over here. They know they and they don't want. They don't even want to pay to come. They don't want to pay somebody to come 200 miles to get the load. And I'm only saying this because I just saw the same load from yesterday back on the board. And the dude called me about the load from Armstrong yesterday at lunchtime. They called again about 3 o'clock. He needed help. I guess you don't need help if you don't want to pay. You want somebody to do 900 miles, almost 1,000 total for $2,000. And what you do this morning? 2,200. Hilarious. Tell me what y'all think about it. I'm out.